This is a story of India's rise. India is emerging as a major electronics manufacturer. As businesses look to decouple from China, it is Vantage India. Case in point, Foxconn. Foxconn is the world's largest tech manufacturer, also the backbone of China's manufacturing industry. Foxconn is basically a Taiwanese company, but it has become synonymous with China's vast factory towns, like the iPhone city in Zhengzhou. Now, Foxconn is quickly trying to shed that reputation. It is moving to India. In fact, it already has facilities in India, a plant near the southern city of Chennai. Right now, it makes around 10 million iPhones. Going forward, Foxconn wants to double this. It wants to make around 20 million iPhones in India. The expansion should be complete by 2024. The company also plans to triple its workforce. 100,000 workers will eventually work in this factory. And this may just be the beginning. Foxconn is planning more facilities in India. 2 Indian states are in contention, Karnataka and Telangana. Again, they're in southern India. Recently, top executives of Foxconn were in India. It was a high-powered team led by the chairman of the company, Young Liu. Letters of intent have been signed. The company is said to be planning a plant near Bengaluru. It is India's IT hub. Reports say this facility will make parts for the iPhone. It could serve other purposes too, like contributing towards Foxconn's electric vehicle business, again through the manufacturing of parts. How much will Foxconn spend on this plant? Around $700 million, according to one report. And this is still work in progress. Formal agreements are yet to be sealed, so we have to see how it pans out. And electronics manufacturing is just one aspect. Foxconn also wants to build semiconductors in India. There are plans to set up factories for computer chips. And for this, the Taiwanese company has tied up with Vedanta. Vedanta is India's natural resources conglomerate. The facility could be set up in the state of Gujarat. So this expansion is wide-ranging. But why should this get so much attention? Why is Foxconn's move so significant? Because Foxconn is a tech manufacturing giant. It makes 70% of all iPhones, 70% of all iPhones, and 40% of all consumer electronics in the world. That's how big this company is. And that is why its India expansion is being seen as a vote of confidence. It could propel India into the big league. Also, why is it happening now? Because now the conditions are right. For companies looking to move away from China, India meets the requirements. India has a young workforce. There is availability of talent of all kinds. The government of India is offering attractive incentives. And most importantly, India is just a better place to be in. China, as of today, is geopolitical kryptonite. It is the target of American sanctions, which makes manufacturing in China quite tough. The US has imposed sweeping export curbs on China, and for any business, that is reason to worry. Even the prospect of sanctions raises risks for businesses, which is why companies like Foxconn have to diversify. Then there's the unpredictability of the Chinese president, Xi Jinping. It's difficult to deal with for any business. Communist Party diktats and frequent crackdowns have forced a rethink. Companies do not like an unstable business environment, which is why they're leaving China. The idea of decoupling was floated when the pandemic began. Initially, it was not taken seriously, but China's erratic policies have made diversification a necessity for most now. And India seems to be making the most of the available opportunities. It could do better, though. Businesses still face some tough challenges in India, like the lack of available infrastructure. Then there's the skill set challenge. India has a reputation of being a software powerhouse, but it still has a long way to go in developing its own native tech manufacturing capabilities. You see, putting together parts to make an iPhone is one thing. Developing the technology from scratch is quite another. And that should be the next step for India. And India still has some catching up to do in this department. Look at this report from February. Apple wants to develop an AR device. AR is augmented reality. It's a technology that enhances the real-world environment for the user. And guess who Apple has tabbed for this? Again, it's a Chinese contract manufacturer. So China might be on the back foot, but it's still not out of the game. And India is off to a good start, but there's still a long way to go.